Hi, y'all. Easy Slider here with some insight you sure need to know. What to expect when you start a long-distance relationship? Good question. You're probably thinking right now, well, there's really nothing here. I've dated before, I know kind of what to expect when I'm with a girl, and I understand that. I can probably just skip this video, but I'm going to tell you, seriously, if you do, you're making a huge mistake. You see, Asian women, they're very different. They have different traits. And if you don't understand those traits, your relationship's not going to work well. But even more so, you're going to get scammed if you're not careful. All right? Today we're going to talk about some things and just kind of help you keep from getting scammed and help you develop a strong relationship. Now, I'm not going to approach these in any specific order. They're just going to be thrown out there at you, so where you won't think one's more important than the other. That's not the case. First one I want to talk about language. It's true that many Asian women, they speak English. Most of them do. Okay, in some cases their second language. And the thing is with that, you have to understand that even though you think they understand the language, which they do, they don't have a deep understanding of the language. And the reason for that is our slang kind of throws them off. It makes it difficult for them, and it's hard for them to understand it. So when you're talking to an Asian lady, the best thing you can do is just have a basic conversation, and don't use a lot of slang until you know her well and know that she really does understand you. Because sometimes what will happen, if they don't understand what you're saying, what they'll do is they'll just nod their head or say yes or something because they don't want to look bad. Remember, saving face is important to an Asian lady. Culture. You got to keep in mind that their culture is important to them. It really is, all right? So if something seems a little strange or different to you, consider that it's important to them. Pay attention. Daily contact. Having that daily contact with your LDR, it's going to build a strong bond between you and them. Studies have shown that talking daily, it builds trust and it builds a bond that strengthens over time. So, and it also it helps in controlling problems. You can work out problems. That helps later on in your marriage. And you tend to get into a routine of correcting problems rather than arguing about them. You just think differently there. So the next one is time zones. There's a lot of time zone differences between you and them. Could be quite a few. And this just simply means that when it's their morning, it's your night. Okay? You might be kind of tired. You really, just don't even want to talk tonight. But there's something you need to remember. That LDRs can be very problematic in those ways if you allow them to be. If you don't allow them to be, though, and you don't think like that, the first thing you're going to notice is a lot of your problems just vanish. They go away. Okay? Nerve-wracking. Oh, you can bet that sometimes it is. Time zones and other problems that you have can be very nerve-wracking. Working through the problems is going to strengthen your relationship, and it's going to be teaching both of you that talking things out and finding solutions is going to help keep your relationship on an even keel. So remember that, okay? They're there. Work them out. Now I've got a new one for you. Probably a lot of the Western men have never heard this term. If you've had dealings with Asians, maybe you've heard the term, but you don't know what it is. And the word is Tampa. Not like the city Tampa. All right? Western men haven't usually experienced anything like this. And what happens when a girl gets mad, just stops talking. Yeah, altogether. She just stops talking. That can last for 30 minutes or an hour. It can last for a week. Oh God, I hope not. Okay. Then all of a sudden, things are okay. Just like nothing ever happened. And she's back. Just like it. Everything's okay now. What it is, it's a self-defense way of stopping an argument, and it really does. It'll stop in its tracks. But I want to tell you something now. This is important. What do you do when your girl has temper? Pay attention. You don't do anything. Nothing. Don't keep arguing. Don't try to make your point. Just stop. Stop. Back off. Let her have her space. And then when she's ready to talk again, everything will be great. Yeah, I know it's kind of crazy, but just relax and be calm, and it'll pass fast, okay? Fear. Fear rises on both sides. And, you're talking daily. I'll give you an example. You're talking daily, and all of a sudden she just stops talking to you. She's not there. She don't come. She don't talk. Where is she? What happened to her? What's wrong? Oh, no. She's got another boyfriend. Then all of a sudden she's back. You find out that she was sick. She was in the hospital. Our minds have a bad habit of fearing what we don't understand. That's why daily talking is important. Communication is the key. Don't mean she has to talk to you, every second, but keep that in mind. Communication is the key. Pressure from our family. This is one that a lot of times Western men don't catch on to right away. We know that the family can put pressure on them for a couple of reasons, and one of the reasons might be because they don't like you. It don't happen a lot, but it does happen. And I saw one instance where there were two men involved, and one of them made more money than the other man and could provide better for their daughter. So which one do you think they chose? Didn't have anything to do with what the daughter chose, it's what they chose, okay? Another reason might be that they don't want her to leave. They want her to stay right there with them. And I talk about this in one of the other videos, the financial responsibility of the oldest child. So I'll leave a video link and check that out. If you haven't watched it, watch it, and it'll give you a little bit of an understanding. She moves fast. Oh, okay. You might be a little surprised how fast she moves. You've met her and things are going good and you're talking, and all of a sudden she's talking marriage. She's talking about having children. She's talking about y'all building a house together. I'm going to tell you, this is one way she has of staking her claim on you, holding on to you. She wants to lock you down fast and keep you. So don't be surprised. It's not a shock. You know what's coming. Insecure. This one's kind of strange, I have to say. Many, many, many Asian women do not see themselves as being beautiful. And I mean, they can be just a gorgeous girl, and they don't feel they are. They feel they're average or below average. All right? I've seen it happen so many times that they, you can ask them, and they just don't see themselves as beautiful. But this is a good time for you, okay? Because now's the time that you can reassure them that, that in your eyes, they're gorgeous, they're beautiful. And that'll help calm her down, because, get rid of some of her fears that you're going to be leaving her for another woman. Jealousy. Sometimes I think I can't say enough about this. It's common. She knows there's a lot of competition. She wants to keep you close to her and keep the other women far away from you. All right? So don't be surprised if she said, "Hey, where are you going today?" Or What are you going to be doing today? Or you happen to look over and she's going through your cell phone. All right? Maybe it makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, but try to remember that the reason she's doing that is she don't want to lose you. She's watching to make sure no other woman is trying to sneak up behind her back and take you away. And I'm going to tell you, it'll happen fast. It's not uncommon over there that you're walking down the street, and if she's walking ahead of you, you've got some girl over here on the side checking you out. Very common. And you're going to say, well, Slider, you know, I'm not rich, and I'm not the most handsome man ever walked the streets, and I'm a little older now, but I'm going to tell you a secret. Those girls want you. Yes, they do. And for the most part, you're a big catch. You're a big catch for the Asian lady, so just keep that in mind, all right? Now, you know, time to time in our lives, all of us need a little help. And I'm working diligently to try to put out information that's going to be helping everybody. And I've said it in a couple other videos, and I'll say it again in this video. I'm working on some things right now that's going to be critical in a long-distance relationship where you're going to marriage. Right? This is something you're going to have to know. You're going to have to get it right the first time. There's going to be a lot involved in it, so it's taken me a longer time to put these videos together, but I am working on it, and this is something you want to keep hanging with me because it's going to help you a lot. So I need help getting that information out. So if you don't mind, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell for me. It'll be a huge help to getting our channel out there where people that really need this information can get it. We see a lot on long-distance relationships, and some of them are really cute that I'll watch where they're meeting for the first time. I just love it. Maybe I'm a romantic at heart. I don't know. But there's not a lot getting into the details of what you have to do in certain areas, what's going to be required of you. And that's what I'm trying to fulfill. I'm trying to be the one that's there to give you this information that you're going to need. Okay, let's move on. This one's a little bit different. There are some red flags. Ooh, and you need to be careful and need to watch these red flags. One of them is she'll tell you, I just don't have time to talk to you. Come on. When somebody really loves you, they make time to talk to you. And they make time every day. Maybe they can't talk to you for an hour or 2 hours. But you know, they can come on every day, check on you to make sure you're okay, and spend 10 or 15 minutes with you. We all can do that. If you find out she's only wanting to talk every 3 or 4 days, or maybe even once a week or something, there might be a reason. There might be a reason. This could be a sign that she's talking to another man. Just keep that into consideration, okay? You know, as the women get older, their chances of finding a good man gets smaller. You ask me why? It's because of the extreme competition they have. In the Philippines, my understanding is there's more women than there are men. Not by a huge margin, but by a margin. And a lot of those women really like the Western men. So, as they get older, their chances get less because the men have a choice of picking those beautiful, beautiful younger women instead of a beautiful, beautiful, little bit older women. So guess what? They may be talking to more men than you. They may be talking to several men. They want a backup plan. If you know, you might be the one they really like, but if you fall through, plan B over here, they've got another man. And they also know that by having several men like that, it can provide them an income that's much better than what they have without that. So, you know, it's the old backup plan, okay? All right. What about if she seems to always have a problem and that she needs money for? Well, the first thing you need to remember is before you came along, she took care of those problems by herself. All right? Now that you're here, she tells you about all of her problems, and she wants you to be always helping her out. she might say, oh, I need medicine for me or for the children, or she might say that she has a sick relative she needs to go see, or she might say that, there's a funeral involved. Sometimes these are true. Sometimes they are. But just be careful, because so many times, I can't even tell you how many times, they're fake excuses. They're used to get money. And you have to think about, if they're getting money from you and 2 or 3 other men, hey, they got a pretty good income going on for them, okay? So check out my previous video about sending money. When you talk to her, does it take a long time for her to respond? Like maybe you send her a message and it takes her 5 or 10 or 15 minutes to respond back to you? Be aware, there could be a reason. She's quickly going to tell you, though, that the reason is that the internet's bad. And I will defend them there. Sometimes it can be real bad. However, if it's constant, just always, it's not always bad, okay? It could be because she's talking to another man while she's talking to you. So she has to split up her time between you and the other person. So just be aware, and be conscious of that. If she tells you, oh, I can't do any videos. If you say, hey, let's do a video, I'd like to see you and everything, she go, oh, I can't do a video. He said, there's other people in the room and I don't want them to hear us talking, or I don't want this or that. Or she might say, oh, geez, I'd love to, but my camera's broke, or I don't have a load. Well, the load thing it can be real, all right? But it doesn't happen every single time, because sooner or later she will have a load. And she, if she's telling you those things, you have to be aware that there may be somebody in the room she don't want you to see, okay? Or there may be something going on that she don't want you to know about, and she feels by staying off the video it's going to be better. So I found out, if in the very beginning you tell them, look, if we're going to get into a relationship, there's one thing that's important, and that's daily contact and also video chats. If you can't video chat me, then we can't have a relationship. And you're going to find out something quick. That's going to save your bacon. There's going to be a lot of times the reason that somebody don't want to video chat with you is because they're not who they say they are. They're there to scam you out of money, and they'll just use excuse, oh, I don't have a cam, but if you can send me, like a couple $100 for a cam, we can do this all the time. Look out. Look out. You might send that couple $100 because you want to really have that time on video with them, and then all of a sudden they disappear. Or they come up with an excuse of, oh, things just really, I had to take my children to the hospital, and I had to take the video cam down and pawn it to get the money to pay the hospital bill. There's a couple of errors in that. And the more you learn about the Filipino culture, the more you'll learn that some of that's not true. All right? So, no video, no talk. Well, I hope that some of the things that I've been going over with you is going to shed a little bit of light on the subject. So maybe you won't be surprised when something happens. I want to say this in defense, because Asian women, when you find the right one, can be the most loving, most caring person that you're ever going to find, and they'll make a great wife. I just can't stress that enough. That you get the right one, you've got gold in your life. It's just wow. Some of the Western women, just, they just don't understand that, and they don't understand overcoming the differences, and they don't understand how the Asian women work. So I think when you start realizing that, you're going to be really pleased. Okay, now, I want you to slide on over with me, because our next video we're going to be talking about is online. Is that a good way to meet your long-distance relationship partner? You might find that kind of interesting, because got some ideas on both sides of that. So why don't you come on with me? We'll get into it, and that'll give you an idea of whether it's something you should think about or whether it's something that you don't want to think about. We'll talk about the pros and cons of it. So come on with me. Let's go talk about it.